better. Just all of a sudden, like, I see you, I hear you, I'm here for you, any way possible. You have a special place in my heart. And I was like, that is something I didn't know I needed to hear.
Now watching Litigation from the Don't Judge Me podcast. This is kind of an annex building, if you will, off of the podcast altogether.
Hell yeah.
Usually with Litigation, we take the time out to tell a story or two, to share a quip, or what have you. But right now, the world's got a lot going on, and
It's getting real.
honestly, I just wanted to use this outlet to honestly be an outlet for me and Sir Nigel to just
Hell yeah.
talk about what we may need to talk about, specifically around like the value of my life and how it's being presented and the world looks at it. And just to be frank, I didn't know I needed half the stuff like that I needed right now. I didn't know I needed an outlet. I didn't know I needed support and to feel valued in a way where it wasn't necessarily romantic. I didn't know any of that was necessary for me until the past few weeks.
No, same. And I just shared with you, like, I literally had a colleague tell me that they hear me, they see me, and they appreciate me. And honestly, it was like, thank you. Like, honestly, like, I never felt like that type of where honestly, I almost want to be like, I love you. But I was just like, oh, Jesus, like, that is so nice of you to say, and so not, it wasn't like it was planned, because it was a random conversation, and then she was just like, look, I just want you to know, I hear you and see you, and you are valued. And I was just like, goddamn. And it hit me personally, where I was like, I appreciate this portion of our conversation because it's just nice to hear that. I mean, like you just kind of touched on, like you didn't know you needed that kind of necessarily, I won't say validation, but the extra level of TLC.
Yes.
Where it's like, hey, look, I know you deal with this type of stuff on a daily basis. You may not be cognizant of it, but you may be cognizant of it. But I want you to know I am cognizant of it. And it was like, that was enough to be like, hell yeah.
Your dad, you were at your dad's funeral. And everyone's sharing their stories about your dad, and then someone comes along and posts a picture of their dad in front of your dad saying, well, my dad's important too. And that was like what I felt like.
Like, it's funny you can say that. I saw this young lady, she's of Caucasian descent, and she essentially had a video where it was like, hey, this person's house on fire, let's help them out because they're about to die. And the other person was like, it was still her, but she was doing like the mix. She was like, what about my house? It's like, well, your house is not on fire. This person's house is on fire, and they are dealing with some shit because they're about to die.
Right now they're dealing with something.
She was like, well, I don't feel secure. And it was like, but your house is not on fire. This person's house is on fire. So let's help them out. And she was like, I don't feel comfortable with the fact that you're not showing attention to my house. So it was just one of those funny things where it's like, yeah, that's when people go, all lives matter. Yeah, all lives matter. Oh, do matter.
Absolutely. Every life is important and valuable.
But no one else is getting choked out like on a regular basis as we as African Americans. Like, you think about any time that we are driving or a cop gets behind us, like we instantly start worrying because it's like, I am concerned. I am generally concerned. Like, I don't know what's going to happen.
So, a couple weeks ago, so it was pre-George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, but after Ahmaud Arbery. Driving home one night, phase 1 had been lifted in Maryland, so it was okay to be out. However, I was texting and driving. I was.
Okay.
And I might not necessarily been in a text, but I was in my phone. And I wasn't just like paying attention to anything because it was a red light, right? So I stopped at the red light, and I wasn't paying attention to anything. Then the light changed and I pulled off, and then the lights and sirens went on behind me. And the cop car wasn't immediately behind me, but it was like there was no other cars behind me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the cop car came up, lights and sirens, and I was just like, oh shit, let me pull over. And I pulled over, the cop went around me, drove up the street like another block to where disturbance was going on.
Okay.
But I didn't feel anything until I saw where the cop was going, then my heart started going crazy because all I could do initially was react. So my reaction was just like, let me move up, pull over, I don't know what's going on. But once the moment had passed and the actual event was going somewhere else and I saw that, my heart started racing. Because it was like, I was trying to explain to the same person that all lives matter to me that you don't know what it's like to not be able to be in control. And I might have been wrong. I might have been wrong for saying that.
No, that is spot on.
Like the feeling of like I am powerless and I am immediately a victim because I can't do anything.
No.
Like in that moment, that's all I could say. And again, I could have taken some thought and said it a little bit differently. But
I get it. I mean, but maybe I'm also a black male, so I maybe get it more so than a non-black male. But I hear you.
Like it just is when you don't have that control and you're just at the will and mercy of someone else, and then they interject it. You think it's not the same for me. It is, but let me express myself without the counter argument or whatever right now.
Yeah.
Like like I felt like defeated and nothing happened to me. Like that the event had nothing to do with me, but I still felt the defeat. And it's just like, but I'm a man. I stand up for mine.
Suck it up, right? Yeah,
I stand up for mine. Like I am afraid of the police.
I mean, like at this point, you're just trying to hand me up.
Right.
You're trying to hit me with all these extra lawsuits for no reason, and it's like, it's just sad because as an African American and given I look Spanish, but what I'm saying, like I still get like hiccups. Like when I used to have a Caprice because I was that guy. Mm-hmm. I used to get stopped all the time talking about you look like a suspect. And I'm like, how? What suspect? Oh, dude with cornrows. You know how many people in the U.S. have cornrows? Oh, at the time, this is 10 years ago. So this is like back when it was like a fashion statement. But it's like, you know how many people fit that description? Like the time, I don't know, you guys watch another video of ours where I talked about somebody stole my car and I described myself. But like literally, like this face. Come on, man. Like y'all being racist at this point.
I've got a friend who slides off with a police officer, and they've been sliding off with a police officer for quite some time, right?
So it's like the horizontal Macarena?
Horizontal Macarena with a police officer.
Okay, very cool.
And I never had a problem with it. Do you?
Yeah.
Do you?
Power to you.
Until I thought about one day, I made up a fake scenario. I might even talked about it on the show before, where the cop was sending her text messages saying he was getting turned on. I just chased down this bad guy, but my dick got so hard thinking about you. Like just made up a generic scenario, right?
Okay.
Just made up a generic scenario where he was sending her like saucy text messages talking about what he did at work today that turned him on thinking about her, right?
Okay.
And then I said, oh, I just lied on my police report because it made me so hot and horny thinking about you. And then right at that moment, I said to her and myself, stop fucking with that cop. Because I know he lies on his police report.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I know he's done things, whereas like I don't know this individual at all. I might by proxy, but I don't know him like outright.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I know he's done because like the institution of policing, like you're forced to lie. Even if you can have the best intentions in the world, but you got to watch somebody else's back. And if that person doesn't have the best intentions in the world, and your whole damn staff and crew at the district don't have the best intentions in the world, you gotta play the game. So there's no way there's such thing as just a purely good cop who hasn't done anything wrong or done things to be advantageous over people who are at his will and mercy. Like there's just no way that's happened.
No.
And every time she talks to me about this cop, and I try to say something to discourage her from seeing this dude. It's just like, it's not about like me having something. It's just like, you fucking with a cop that's lousy. Like he don't deserve, it's like I was like,
but he doesn't seem upstate at all. Like he's legit a bad dude.
Like I don't care if you fuck with a homeless dude. I don't care if you fuck with a tow truck driver. I don't care if you fuck with a nigga that sold crack to the community. I really don't care.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's this cop, and in my mind I just had this correlation, this connection, and I was just like, you gotta stop doing that.
It's like, regardless of if you're doing something or not, when you start asking questions to try to even establish your rights at this point, you get hostility immediately, especially as a black man. Like I can only share my experiences. Hopefully not hopefully because I don't want to wish that on you, but I'm assuming you had the same experiences, but like a lot of like cops, you know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, I'm gonna put you in cuffs. Well, why am I being detained? What'd you say? And it's like, I just want to know why I'm being held hostage at this point. Like, I just want to know what's going on, so I know what's happening. You know what I'm saying? I just want to know what is going on. Like, it's just like if I was going to a Best Buy and all of a sudden they had like 17 TVs on a cart. What's happening? I'm not buying this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to ask questions. I don't understand what's happening. And you were supposed to be an advocate of the law. So it's like, if I should ask you a question, you should be able to relay it back to me. So if I say like, hey, I don't feel like I was doing anything wrong. Could you just explain what's going on? Are you getting smart with me? I am not. But I'm literally just trying to find out what's going on right now so I can also protect myself in the future. But I also don't want to do anything wrong because I'm afraid of dying. Smart. I was like, no, I'm not trying to get smart, but I haven't left the premises. Like, I haven't even had the opportunity to buy these things.
I haven't stolen anything.
I haven't stolen anything because I'm still here. Oh, you coming with me? I spent the night in jail.
Over some rap snacks?
Over some Utz salt and vinegar chips. You know what I'm saying? I spent the night in jail, son. My truck was at Wawa in College Park. I was in jail for 24 hours. I got released. I had to catch an Uber back to my truck and pick it up. Because I literally was like, officer, look, I'm not stealing shit. I'm in the office place right now. I plan to buy this stuff. But I was like, you need to get the fuck out of my face. And sure enough, he was like, you're coming with me. And I was like, goddamn. And it was a moment of weakness because honestly, usually I wouldn't have said that. Mm-hmm. But it was one of those, like, I was just frustrated. It was 2 o'clock in the morning. I was like, the fact that you're even accusing me, I feel some type of way. And I just honestly was like, yo, get the fuck out of my face. I was like, I'm not stealing shit. I'm still in the same fucking building. I plan to pay for this shit. I'm planning to get out of here and go home. And it was just like, you ain't shit and you going home with me. And I was like, god damn. And so sure enough, I went to spend the night in jail because of fucking Utz potato chips. Some people legit are like, I'm trying to follow the law. Like my mom told me back in the day, like, you know, as a black man, and even my father, he was like, yo, watch out for Whitey. You know, he was funny because he's white. So watch out for Whitey because he ain't going to trust you. And I was like, all right, well, that seems confusing because you're white.
Everything I've said up to this point is pretty much been because, like this outlet is a necessary outlet that was pointed out to me by someone who doesn't look like me. That, yo, to express and share and say what it is. And this is me expressing and sharing and saying that I'm not okay, I'm getting to okay, but all of this, the way this world is shaping up as of late, I'm not okay with it. And that's just kind of like, I've never felt anguish before, yeah. But that is clearly the feeling I've had as of late. And with that, I like to wrap this one up. You can always check in with us here on YouTube, or you can go out to our podcast, the Don't Judge Me podcast, and hear the rest of the show.